We will we'll eventually have a.
You have no theme music. You got to bring us in.
Yeah. Well, right now, for some reason, I can't see the there it is. It's all there now. Perfect. Okay. Hey guys, welcome to the We're Not Talking About That podcast. Today we have a assorted subject.
We've done 8 of these already. It says.
Yeah, this is our 8th. Yeah, we're gonna be double digits in a few weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy, right?
Yeah,
it feels like we just started.
Yeah. But before we start, how was everybody's week?
Good. A lot of waiting around. I had waiting for the survey, which happened this morning. That's why I had to go into work.
Oh,
I had to get I had to get a surveyor out to.
Was that for your manhole and all that?
For the manhole thing, yeah. The slab is 1 foot 2.5 inches below that manhole cover, so we putting in a fucking backwater valve.
All right.
That is what is happening. So, but thank God it didn't take very long today. It was just, dude, it was about half an hour. It was in and out.
Yeah, I was wondering if you were going to be out there for a while, but I'm glad you weren't.
Yeah,
me too. How about you? How about everybody? Gabe told me a little bit before we came on about his what's going on over there.
Yeah,
what's going on over there, Gabe?
Oh well, my work is annoying. I will not say too much about it.
Can't say too much in case somebody decides to watch.
In case somebody decides to listen, who I don't want them to know. But anyway, suffice it to say, the corporate world is often sucky.
Sometimes.
But you like your job and you're good at it. Peaks and valleys.
I do like my job, and I do consider myself good at it. So.
Yeah, T-Bone, how's your week? What happened, dude?
It was good. It was just like the quote. You remember old Joey Abbon, an old buddy of ours?
Yes.
Peaks and valleys.
Peaks and valleys, Loke. Life is peaks and valleys. The man is a genius. He just didn't know it. Just one of those guys. But the week was good. It had its highs and lows, and I'm very fortunate, man. That's all I'm going to say. I'm very lucky. Life is not that difficult.
It isn't really.
I agree.
A little push isn't going to hurt me.
No.
But yeah. Pretty sweet. Grateful man.
Good.
And
a lot of gratefulness.
Yeah.
I got some gratitude
it's the season,
rolling.
Right?
Yeah, it's the season.
Mm-hmm. It's the season.
That's true.
We're right there.
We
don't really need a season for. I mean, there is the thanks, but yeah, it's a gratitude rolling all the time.
We're going to celebrate the birth of our Savior.
Yeah.
Not my Savior.
Not my Savior. And I doubt that if that dude existed, that he was actually born on that day. But
there's a whole thing on that.
There's a podcast in itself.
Yeah.
I mean, we could. You know what? We should do a special Christmas.
What was that movie?
Ooh.
Where we talk about real Christmas.
What was that movie?
The Christmas.
The one. What was that movie? It started with a Z. Zeitgeist. You guys ever watch the Zeitgeist?
No.
Oh yeah.
In the
mean
beginning,
that little, documentary thing.
Yeah, the whole beginning of Zeitgeist is all of the gods that ever were recorded and their birthdays and the day they died and the day they rose. And then their birthday's December 25th and they died in April and they rose again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look this up and send it to you fellas.
There's several of them. And there's like down through history, they all had the same birthday. They've all died.
We just keep recycling the same stories. I mean, is it like the story of the Noah's Ark, which, you learn about in Sunday school if you're...
Well, and too, man, it was like I think we've talked about before that, they were talking about the CIA sat Jimmy Carter down because he wanted to release a bunch of footage or documents on UFOs. And they sat him down and had a talk with him, told him basically that, the aliens made us and then they made up religion so we wouldn't kill each other, which is funny because that's exactly what we do, is kill each other over religion.
Do you think that's true about the aliens?
Well, you're a skeptic on the alien thing.
I am such a skeptic about the alien thing. Not that there are aliens, but just that there's some conspiracy where they're here and controlling us. I think that sounds goofy.
I can say this. I can say I think maybe we don't know yet. And the reason I will say this is presidents of United States, not the band, generally are briefed on stuff like this, right? Now, if there had been aliens and they told Trump, that motherfucker would have told everybody, like, I told you they were out there. They fucking.
That's why true. They didn't tell.
You know what I mean? So, so we don't know
how much of the stuff that they.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Whatever you do, guys, you just don't tell them, because it's important we keep this secret.
He took the boxes of secrets home and showed the housekeeper and a couple other people and some other people from foreign countries. Hey, check this out! Isn't that cool? These are how many submarines we've got parked. These are how many submarines we have parked off of other places. This is interesting.
I think this is where the three of us all agree that Trump is not that great of a guy, and that's what part of what today's episode is about. The friends we lost to fascism, I called it, and there is some contention whether Trumpism is fascism, and we'll talk about that. But I mean, we could dive right in. I have this little picture of Trump's face.
Yeah,
is that him?
I mean, Canvas says that's orange. Him. Yeah.
Well, and we can all say at this point too that we I don't think any of the three of us are very right-leaning people at all.
No.
Yeah, and I got thinking about that. Should we talk about this? Because, gonna alienate the people on the right. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? I really don't care if somebody gets upset by this. This is how I feel.
I mean, I'm gonna say right now, I don't I have in the past hated people on the who don't share a lot, or who have political ideologies that I think are terrible. But at this point in my life, I'm more well, I'd rather find common ground with people, even though there's probably, that may not work, but I don't know. I'm looking for peace, I guess.
Yeah, one of the buddies that I lost used to talk about, and then we'll talk about this, him and his girlfriend used to talk about tolerance. They're very right-leaning and Trumpy people, very Trumpy, and talk about tolerance.
Really Trumpy in here right now.
It's getting very Trumpy.
Trumpy.
Hey, talk about the tolerance. Oh, well, we can't. Why can't we have a discussion? It's like, you know what? If we had a normal discussion about Republican things and fucking, Democrat things, that's one thing. That's some listening. Sure, you could do some listening, but we're not talking just about that. And we're talking about fucking Trump, and that's different. You know what I mean?
Well, he kind of took over the whole, a whole political party as far as becoming the dominant force in it. And they call themselves conservative, but he's not really conservative. No. If anything, he's a little bit radical. As far as he's super reactionary, but there's also radical aspects to so he's basically, I don't think he actually has any ideologies. I think he just does whatever he thinks is going to work, and he's not stupid. So I will say that he is not stupid. He's good at what he does.
He's not stupid. He's very ignorant, but I think he's a little bit country, and I'm a little bit rock and roll.
Ignorant.
That's
you're not stupid. Yeah.
So have you guys have actually lost people to this movement? So that's starting pretty much in the mid teens, I'd say 2015, and then from then. So you guys lost friends and family members? I mean, or
absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
I when I had the social media stuff, it's when it started kicking in with the whole Hillary the crook and all this shit, and obviously my friends knew where I sat on that. I'm right in the middle of everything, and but not on the conservative side. But I just started deleting people left and right off that Facebook, and I'd get buddies calling me up, hey, why'd you fucking delete me and shit? And I was like, because I don't like your fucking point of view, dude. I don't like the fucking propaganda you're pushing. And, we got different differences and still be friends on Facebook. I was like, no, because then I got to listen to your shit all the time. You know what I mean? I got to get right in the middle of work. I get a fucking email. Oh my God. Todd says, oh, she is a crook at the pizza parlor. She's fucking killing little kids at the pizza parlor.
Down below the pizza parlor.
It's just fucking ridiculous shit. So I've lost quite a few, and no fucks were given with me because I don't care. I'll see you later.
Yeah, that's right. That's good.
But yeah, it is good because you know what? Sometimes you got too many friends, and you got to fucking have diseases weed things out.
Well, I personally don't really have a lot of close friends. You two would be two, like you guys are like, you guys are like two of maybe like, I could only name like 10 people.
3.
So yeah, 2 of 3. The third one is me.
I got like a handful. Yeah. I'm my own friend. I'm my own best friend.
I'm so best friends with myself.
And it's a good thing I'm friends with myself because I don't have any other ones.
Yeah. So so I haven't actually lost anybody. I can attest to the fact
you haven't lost anybody.
Not to this. Because I don't actually surround myself with anybody who, like, I don't really know people, close people who are like that. Because I tend to, like, so at work there a lot of people are conservative. I work in the Inland Empire, and it's a much more conservative part of California than where I'm from, Los Angeles. So what I do is now I have coworkers that are super conservative, and they'll bring things up, and my tactic is I immediately change the subject.
Yes. And because you got a whole office full of them, right? It's going to be like,
it's not that, it's like there are some people that I actually really like. Like, I like working with them. I like having them there. Like, they're good people.
You're like, don't make me not like you right now.
I don't want to not like them. Yeah. So what I do is I say, is as soon as they start a conversation like that, I say something. I turn the conversation to something else. And for the most part, the ones that are really truly good people, they figure that out. And so,
right. And they're kind about it.
And exactly. Say, okay, and so they don't actually bring it up anymore after I've done that. It's because they realize that, oh, Gabe changed the subject.
You know, they have those assholes that fucking immediately looked at his buddy, and he's like, fucking bleeding heart, this guy.
Well, yeah, of course.
Those are the fucking guys that are posting shit back in the day, and I fucking hate that shit.
And everybody else is a pussy. And I think that there's just seriously, there's like a fucking, there's betas. There's a machismo thing that runs like a river through this whole fucking thing.
It's so stupid.
Yeah, it's very puffy and very,
I mean, there's a bunch of things that run through. Well, here, let me change the slide here. And this next slide, since we're talking about this, I'm asking the question here, is Trumpism fascism? And let me describe to the listeners who can't see the slide. This is a picture of Trump compared to Mussolini and their faces, and they're incredibly similar faces. I've always thought this because
I think Trump's even a little bit more.
Well, there's some pictures of Mussolini where he's pretty gnarly.
Yeah,
but look at the mouth is the same. I mean,
it's like a turned down, like.
I'm almost thinking mouth. Someone showed him. Someone said, "Hey, this is the picture. This is what you got to look like for the rest of this day. Just keep your mouth like this."
Yeah, keep your mouth down. We looked at pictures of Mussolini, and he's trending in your demographic.
Yeah, the arrogance is like,
it's an arrogant face
off the chart. Yeah, it's arrogant.
It's an arrogant face.
Right now, it's looking like your vice president should be Mussolini. If we could just bring him back,
dude. If he was alive today, Trump would be asking him.
Yeah,
they'd probably be arguing about who was going to be in charge.
Who's going to be in charge?
It's going to be great. It's going to be great.
Yeah. So I'm wondering if Trumpism is, because there's a lot of talk about like Trumpers being fascists, right?
Yeah, but they have a habit too of calling Democratic or left-leaning people fascist. So it's like the F word is flying back and forth right now.
Well, and that's why exactly. That's why I wanted to address it. So I actually brought the definition of fascism. I think it's from the dictionary. So I'm going to read this real quick. Fascism is a far right authoritarian, ultra-nationalist political ideology and movement characterized by a dictatorial leader, centralized autocracy, militarism, forcible suppression of opposition, belief in a natural social hierarchy, subordination of individual interests for the perceived good of the nation or race, and strong regimentation of society and the economy. So that's the and we could go through each of these points, but the thing is how many of these things are actually like Trumpism, or maybe even wannabe Trumpism, because it, he never did get the time to like completely take over the United States. So
no, I think he was probably held back a little bit, but I think he's got the playbook now.
Yeah. So I mean, what do you guys think? Do you, after reading this definition, knowing what you know about Trumpism, which is what I'm going to call it from now on, what do you think?
I think he'd totally do this if he had a chance, dude. That's the next chance. He'd go very much this direction.
Isn't an option for him. I mean,
yeah.
You're gonna have a tough time with these at this point.
You think so? I think all of these are an option.
I do. And the only reason I think that is because the money thing is going to be an issue for him. People with money will not let some of these things happen.
Okay, so go through them. Which things do you think they're...
Well, obviously, the social hierarchy is already there. A lot of these rich folks enjoy being rich, but a lot of them like to underlie it and not be part of all this. And I think the really rich ones like that can stop this.
Okay.
Well, what if it benefits them, though? I mean...
That's what I'm saying. I think it does. I think actually
and that's his promise to them, right? This is jump on my wagon because this will benefit you.
We're all going to fly to Golden Valhalla together.
But I mean, if you really look at the majority of the uber rich ones, the Buffetts, the Gates, I think they're really people who want to help mankind.
Do you think that?
I do. Absolutely.
I think they're all sociopaths at that level. So I think that rich people at that level are all sociopaths, and I don't think that they have anything good about them. I actually think they're all terrible. So that's my opinion. So
that's fair. I think he'll definitely want to be the leader, the authoritarian, all of that. He wants the one. Gordon and I were going into the 3%ers the other day, getting pretty deep into that. Did you read anything about that?
What is the 3%ers?
Let's look it up because I had it.
The 3%ers want this to come back to 1776 times, to where
what, the United States?
Yeah,
they basically see themselves as what they said is that back when the revolution happened, then there was really only 3% of the settlers or the Americans at that time that fought against the British. This 3% is all it took to overthrow Britain and send those guys packing. So they really look at themselves as the saviors or patriots, ultra patriots that are going to fix the problem. Except they love this guy Trump, and this is what he wants to
do. They're fighting against the thing that he's going to be. So it doesn't really make sense.
So we'll look up the 3%er thing again because
there it is.
Do you have it, T-Bone?
I just sent it to you, fellas.
Me. Okay, yeah.
Okay, so what you're saying is that they think if they get 3% of the people in the country to support them, that they can take over the country?
No, they're not saying that. They're just they're comparing themselves to the 3% of the colonists that fought. So here it says, the active forces in the field against the king's tyranny never amounted to more than 3% of the colonists. So 3%, it only took 3% of the colonists. They were the only people fighting.
Well, but
not all of them fought. Only 3% of all the colonists ever fought against Britain.
Okay, but
that's what they're saying.
But so hold on a second, because here's where that logic kind of escapes me. 3% of a big population is more than a standing army. So
that.
Oh, but they didn't have a big population back then.
Right. Back then, it wasn't 3%.
Well, it was still, but everything's relative, right?
So it was enough. It was enough because they sent an army. We're not talking about, also, the colonists fighting all of Britain. It was just the army.
The colonists didn't have to go anywhere either. I mean, there's a few things that you have to take in mind about this. Is that the English were thousands of miles away.
Yes,
and had to use sailing vessels to get their troops there. And I guess they had some people I guess they would have some loyalists, but they were cut off from their headquarters, right? I mean, this sounds kind of goofy to me.
No, but I mean,
it is goofy. It's just a right-wing militia. That's all it is. But it's a basic fucking freedom fighters, man.
Yeah, but they believe they believe that they're the ones that are going to fight the tyranny, which of course they describe as Democrats, I guess, are the tyranny.
In the American Revolution, the 3%
left wing
were the only ones fighting, and
so
they see themselves
taking themselves as being the revolution, the patriots. Which brings me to another thing: the absconding of patriotism by the right wing and the absconding of the flag, actually. Which is
do you see that logo?
Yeah, it's a Roman numeral 3 over the front of a flag, right? Yeah, the old flag, the 13 stars. So that's the 3%er badge if you're gonna find one. So, dude,
are these guys like how people call themselves the Minutemen and they sort of consider because of, and I don't know what this they
believe they're the true patriots. The
Minutemen were a division of the.
Well, I know, army, but I'm just saying, I don't know what there's this obsession with, wow, man, if we could only go back to the 1700s. The 1700s sucked. I mean,
no, I don't think that's what they're saying. But I mean, I think what they're saying is that comparing themselves to the people who won our country,
not so much government. We have too much government, I think, is what they're thinking. There's too much government, and they just want that one. At the very beginning of this, when the American Revolution happened, we win this thing. They went to Washington, and they're like, dude, we fucking did it. You're the man. Fucking now you're our king. And he was like, what? Fucking, we just fought against that whole fucking thing. He's like, I'll lead this thing for a few years, whatever the deal is, and then you guys elect somebody. That's the way it should be. You know what I mean? That was, honestly, people got to look at this Washington thing back in the days. This guy was fucking, I know he had slaves and all that stuff like that, but that was the norm then. I'm not saying that was right. I'm just saying that he's kind of a smart guy, and how everything was handled.
Well, he picked the right side when he became a turncoat, because he was a general. He was a general for the for the other side. No, I mean, I see. Here's the thing. I don't. This is a funny thing. Is I think that the founders of our country were all fucking horrible people. I just think that. I don't think that there was anything particularly good about them. There's nothing good about their ideologies. They were greedy. They wanted to have more. They didn't want to be under the thumb of the king. They wanted to have the power. And then they made these platitudes.
You don't think that they got here and they were forced to go out and work their asses off and send money over to the fucking king?
Not the people. No, not the people who were. Not most of the founders were. No, most of them were. They were privileged people. In places of authority. Some of them were fucking smugglers. I mean, come on, dude.
Why change? Why change it then? I mean, why go through all the effort?
I have this argument with my mom, because she also fucking loves the founders of our country for some goddamn reason. And
I can't believe you hate them. I want it to be said that Gabe hates the founders of our country.
I do. I think that they were horrible people. I think most of them were horrible people.
You think I hate science? Gabe hates the founders of our country.
I mean, I would rather be known for hating the founders of our country.
It's going on the list. You just made the book, my friend.
What's the book?
The book of shit that got said.
Oh, is that the book of shit that got said?
Yeah. Gabe hates. Okay. Gabe hates the founders of our country. Yeah, you made the book.
Good.
I probably made the book too a couple weeks ago because I hate science.
Oh, good.
Yeah, you hate science. It's right there at the top.
It's at the top. It's the first line. I made first line.
Is this how you're going to decide whether we stay with your friends? If we get
how many?
Too many.
How many entries?
Us? Yeah. How many does it take?
In the book?
I'm not gonna say hate. Would you say hate or dislike the founding fathers?
Okay, I guess I can't hate them because I didn't know them, so I can't say that. You're right.
Yes, you did.
So, but I'll say this: like what we know about them, what we say about them, what we hear about them, what we learn about them. That's all. 99% of that is fucking mythology to make them sound way better than they were. That's what I totally believe. It's just like how when I grew up, Columbus was the fucking thing. Columbus was a fucking terrible person, a horrible person. And
most Spaniards are.
Yeah, he was Italian, but I mean,
shit.
I'm both. So ancestry-wise, both Spanish and Italian. So I mean, I just and German. Shit.
Dude,
you got all the hate groups covered.
I do.
You got them all.
I'm a soup of hate groups.
Yeah. No wonder you're so angry all the time, hating it. So that's why you hate the founders, because you're predisposed to hatred.
I'm a genetic hate group.
You are. Yeah.
No, I again. So I don't like. I think that most of the people we venerate in history, it's because the history is written by the victors, and we always hear like mythology about in history. And what really needs to happen is you need to dig deep into what actually happened, and accounts that aren't by the rhetorical accounts. You need more like, accounts by, let's hear some accounts by slaves. Let's hear some accounts by like loyalists to England. What was it like for them? They were, maybe some of them were just outstanding people. Like, we don't know. This was 100, 250 years.
Just happy all the time.
Why you guys hate? Happy? Hey, isn't England great? Isn't this great?
Hey,
I can't wait.
We don't know. England could have been fucking great. In fact, a little bit of history for you.
Listen,
England,
I think most people with the founding fathers leave it at the shit that they wrote that put the country, little.
Dude, I could write anything. I could write a bunch. Dude, okay, fine. I'm gonna write some platitudes. This is what annoys me. I'm gonna write a bunch of platitudes, and in 200 years, people will be like, "Man, he was such a great person." I'll put shit like, don't do drugs. And,
okay, T-Bone, I think you got to open your book again, because Gabe also hates the Constitution. You just made the book.
The Constitution, if we could fucking just dissolve it and start over.
There it is.
I got to get the red pen out.
Dude,
sorry.
why?
You are a fucking right-winger. Are you?
I am not.
Are you an infiltrator, you cocksucker?
Dude, the Constitution is fucking stupid. It is the dumbest thing ever. You're fucking.
I was joking, T-Bone, but he actually hates it.
You guys are like Pavlovian dogs. You've been conditioned to believe that the mythology of our founding. You've been conditioned to believe the Constitution is some infallible document. It's just a document they made like 250 years ago to try and get along so that they could start a country. There's nothing great about it. It's not great.
Right now are the right-wing poster boy for anti-intellectualism.
No, this is not.
You are the right-wing poster boy for anti-intellectualism.
Dude, if you
learn enough to hate your country, that's what you do. This is why they hate. That's why they hate. That's why they send these kids to college. They come back hating everything.
No. This is from going to college, as I believe this.
That's what I'm saying.
I took political science. I got an A. I know how
I took political science. I got an A.
I did. Magna cum laude. Oh, you're putting it in the book,
okay,
man. I'm getting a lot of
action.
You gotta have positive stuff too, right?
Yeah.
Is that going blue pen? Is that blue pen?
I should go blue for an A.
Blue for I took history and I got an A.
We should really publish the book once it's full. And maybe we should have a yearly publishing of the book where people can buy it for 99 cents.
So what was your comment again? I took political science
I
got an A.
And I got an A.
That's the line.
Jesus Christ! You know what? This is a good time to switch slides.
Is it? Are you switching
No, I'm not switching. No, we're staying on this subject, and because this segues into it. So this slide is called "Are Both Sides Wrong?" So that's the Trumpers and the whatever you want to call people who are not Trumpers, the Trumpers and the not Trumpers, or the.
I would say no. Both sides are not wrong.
Well, I hear this a lot. That's why, like, from people who say that they're middle of the road, I hear them say, well, really both, it's the same. Both sides are the same. But I'm going to contend that the Trump side, they're far more, they're fascists, or at least they're close cousins of fascists. So, like, one side is fascist, one side is a status quo. Personally, I take the status quo over the fascists. I mean, the Weimar Republic, which was the governing force in Germany before Hitler, it sucked, but it wasn't fucking Nazis. So, just saying.
Well, everybody was happy about the Nazis when they came in. We're like, oh, they're going to straighten it out.
That's what all these people always say, that they're going to straighten things out. They're going to make things.
How do you think these people feel about, our dear leader Trump? As fucking, they think he's going to straighten it out too. They think he is going to fucking kick all the Mexicans out, and build that wall again, and fucking drain the swamp, which is a swamp. I was reading something yesterday. It was interesting about how the right wing people, especially Trumpers, react to negative talk about their dear leader. It actually enforces that they're thinking about him. So, like, talking like, hey, he's got 91 felonies. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, how are you still behind this guy? And it's like, the more you talk shit on this guy, the more they feel bad for him.
Well,
and send him money.
Yeah, because he then frames it, when anybody attacks him, he frames
he's
it
being
as
attacked.
He's being anybody does anything to, like, make him accountable for anything, he says he's being attacked. He says it's because they hate him. He says it's because, and partially that's true, because
and it works
because we do hate him.
Because we do hate him. Yeah.
But he doesn't. He basically uses it, and those people they're already on his side. So now they're just like, oh yeah, well, anybody who's against him is against us. I mean, I don't
hate, I don't hate him. It's like, I don't hate him any more than I would hate a common housefly. It's fucking irritating. Except for the fact that he's running for fucking president.
Yeah.
I mean, if he wasn't doing that, I don't give a fuck about Trump.
I think we all grow up. We've all gone through school. We've all seen bullying. The dude's a bully. Nobody likes bullies.
That's right.
The dude's just a fucking bully. There's issues in the government, and there's no one really knows how to handle things or how to work out problems, but there's a nice way to fucking get together with each other and fucking work out issues and talk about it and come to some type of agreement. But
I think so.
It will never happen in our fucking government system. And
wait a second.
Bully about.
Did you just say it'll never happen in our government system? Why is that?
It will.
The Constitution is fucking perfect.
We can't. No. The Constitution.
It's great until people get in the way.
The founders, you guys. The Constitution.
I gotta write down that you're argumentative. Very argumentative.
He's going again. He's going against the Constitution again.
The founders, the Constitution. This country's infallible. When you write stuff down, it makes it perfect. As long as you write down platitudes.
It just helps me remember things.
What was the name?
You went to CSUN. I got that. That's all then.
What was the name of your commie teacher, Gabe, in that political science class?
Oh gosh, I don't remember. Yeah, she was basically the one who.
She was a communist, right?
I mean, at least she was probably socialist.
Yeah, she was.
Communism and socialism are much different things, by the way. Just so you know.
They are.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I do not endorse communism. I do, however, endorse socialism.
See, that's where we agree. I'm not going to write that down because I'm cool. But,
Yes.
Anyway, yeah. So that's the. I don't think both sides are wrong. But
well, see, if you spoke to a right winger, they would say the same thing too. No, the left is completely fucked up and wrong.
But
we got it going the right way.
Because that's what I'm saying, and they're usually bullies about it.
Yeah,
and I don't know.
I mean,
I talk to Trumpers, and I have a hard time.
I guess it's what's your goal, right? So if you want to see
the goal is always to change somebody's mind, right?
Well, no.
But that's never.
I'm saying like if to you believing what's right and wrong. So it's really about your goal. With me, I like diversity. I like inclusion, and I like things like variety and all that kind of stuff in everything. Whereas somebody who's a Trumper probably doesn't like diverse things. They would like to see a more homogeny. They'd like to see one race of people where they don't have to have other ways of being. They don't have to worry about what other people, learning about other cultures.
You mix them all together, right, G?
Yeah.
The gray people, the gray barrel people.
So, I mean,
are you talking about the paper that guy wrote that really got him in trouble?
Wait,
there was a professor that got kicked out of college one time. He wrote this paper that said basically there's going to be two sorts of people in the future. There's going to be the tall, whiter people, and then there's going to be the brownish, smaller, barrel style worker class. And yeah, he said that's what it's going to divide into, in the future. And yeah, the university took exception.
Well, he got
that paper.
He got that directly from H.G. Wells. If you read the Time
it sounds
Machine.
like yes.
Yeah.
I didn't read the Time Machine. Was that what happened?
Well, yeah. I didn't see the South Park.
The Goobacks?
H.G. Wells book, the Time Machine. The dude goes like way far into the future where humanity is split up into two groups.
One group, the underground dwellers.
Yeah, the underground dwellers, which are like I can't remember what they're called, and then the Eloi, which are the people on the top. And the people on the top, they're like,
very watery and very sensual, and
they do whatever they want. They're always happy, and they're not very smart.
Brushing each other's hair and
Morlocks. Morlocks are the ones underground. The Morlocks.
Don't the Morlocks come and eat them?
Yes. Yeah, they do. At night, if you're not inside or not in somewhere safe, the Morlocks come and eat them. And that's basically what the whole premise is, that the working class had to go underground. And so the Morlocks actually run everything because the working class knows how to do all the work. And then the other class, the Eloi, they don't know how to do anything. And
that's true. Do you think there are rich people right now that actually don't know how to do basic stuff?
God,
you know
what
I mean?
I absolutely do.
Yeah, that's
a
given.
We live and we work, Gordon and I, in a construction world. We are going to be drastically at a loss in 10, 15 years from now. No one's teaching their kids to do anything anymore. There's no apprentices. Everybody wants too much money to do everything.
Everybody wants to be an influencer.
Put in the time to work hard and work under somebody and find out how to do quality trades.
I'm going to be a YouTuber.
Exactly. I'm going to be a TikTok star. But I got to call somebody to fix my toilet. I'm fucked. I can't. How do I do it? It's a fucking plunger, dude.
Yeah,
That's it.
Yeah.
That'll be $600, please.
I'm pretty happy that I worked in trades, even though I hated it. But
that's where Gabe and I met. Building
log cabins in the mountains in the snow.
Which you're thinking about going back to, aren't you, G?
I am.
He's thinking of going back to the snow.
Going back up to the hill. Going up the hill.
Not building, just living.
Just living in the log cabin.
Living in it, yeah.
And Gabriel, you're too much of a urbanite.
I am, except that I would live up there if my wife and I could go fully remote. Whoa.
Yeah, you got the wrong kind of urbanite down there, though. Yeah. That's my ringtone.
You guys both have that ringtone.
Somebody's calling me from Edmonton, Alberta, Columbia.
Oh shit. That's your lighting supply.
Is it? It probably is, huh? On a Saturday? No.
In Canada?
Fuck, eh?
They don't work on...
That is a sales call.
They don't work on Saturdays.
Sorry, I called on Saturday.
Sorry, we've called you about your car warranty, your extended warranty.
Oh, you don't want to talk about
I'm not
it?
in Canada.
Sorry.
I'm not in Canada.
This is
Sorry.
This is what is what is going to
so this is so the next slide is just
demise of us.
It's just called fear, and I think that's what Trump uses, and what all people who control people use as their control mechanism. And I think the main thing is
the news outlets. Yeah, for sure.
Well, everybody who wants to control you. I mean, we're all controlled by fear, like different kinds of fear. Like there's even a term for like a happier kind of fear, which is FOMO, fear of missing out. There's everything that we like. All the motivators are fear motivators, because that's what motivates people. I think we talked something about this when we said that the in the news episode we did, where we talked about how the news is like they use like unhappy, fear-based headlines to get people involved, and I think it's a big part of why we're in our situation.
It's really weird. I think fear is used in every aspect when somebody needs something to happen. Like, for instance, and I'm not saying it's not going on, but it's really odd right now. I don't know if you've been watching the news, but we have a serial killer out there killing homeless people.
What?
I don't know if you guys have heard this yet.
Where?
I have not.
You haven't? Neither, guys? So
no.
Turn on the news or look it up here in the next couple of days. They're on the lookout right now in Los Angeles and Riverside and Irvine for what's going on. Someone's going around shooting homeless people. So
whoa.
Now, are they really doing this, or do you think that the politicians, and this hit my head, was like, hey, we can get these folks off the streets right now, and that's what the city's trying to do. The government, everybody's trying to get everybody they can off the streets right now. Homeless people, they want them into facilities. So now all of a sudden there's a serial killer out there, though. They're using this fear, like, hey, everybody go into these homes, go to the hotels, take the help, because none of these homeless folks out here in LA want to take the help. So now they're using, because
it includes cleaning up. It includes cleaning up and
losing their stuff.
Yeah.
That they've
accumulated. I think mainly no more drugs and booze. You'll get all the help you want, but you got to kick
all I'm saying is, once again, fear is being used to move these people.
You think that's what's happening?
Absolutely. I mean,
it sounds
it's really
totally
happening
plausible
or not happening, which it is happening, but they're using this and saying, hey, listen, somebody's out there killing you guys. Please, let's take the help we're offering you guys.
You think it's they have somebody out there, or they have like a little team of people going around shooting homeless people? Like,
no, I don't think it's like that. I think there's really a fucking sick motherfucker out there fucking just pissed off at homeless people and shooting them. But now what happens is we're going to use this awful fear-based thing to try to help us get people back in.
Well, yeah, taking
this
advantage.
This is fear being used in a good way, in a sense. You know what I mean?
So, yeah, kind of.
Either way,
I want to go.
A fucking very strong tool.
It is. Go, Gabe.
No, go ahead.
No, it is. I mean, and it works in both ways. I mean, I know that there's a lot of right-wing people in them, but they're like, fucking the country's going to slide into a fucking pit, if we don't, bring Trump back and fix all this shit. The country will end. The country's going to die. We think too, on the left-hand side, you're like, fucking, if Trump comes back, this whole place is going to be over. This is going to be the end of fucking democracy as we know it. I mean, Hillary Clinton has said so. Fucking.
We're back to talking about if fucking this person gets to be president, we're moving out of the country.
It's a fear. Yeah,
it's getting close again. It's more fear.
Yeah, I mean,
if guy wins, I'm out.
Really, all of
That's
this only
people are saying right now
only benefits a few rich people. Like, all of this benefits the billionaire class, I believe. All this fear stuff and all of this, like, all the conflict between us, like the right and the left and all this stuff. It's really racism, all of it. It just keeps the wealthy and keeps the rest of us down. And I think that that's the whole point of the entire thing. But I did want to address something that Gordon said. You might have to get out the book because this is gonna
red or lead.
It might be red. Because Gordon, you said that like that homeless people have to clean up. What was your opinion? Do you think that they should clean up in order to get help? Do you think they should? That's a good policy to force people to?
Oh, you meant mentally clean up in your life.
Well, he's talking about like no drugs, no alcohol, get a
drugs?
job. Like, you think that those are the things that people should have to do if they want help?
If you were doing drugs and alcohol and sleeping in the streets and you didn't have a job, you would be on the streets, right?
Well, wait a second. I see. So I disagree with the contention that I think help should just be unconditional. I don't think
there's a lot of mental problems out there, and I don't think putting a roof over somebody's head is necessarily going to fix the issue.
That might not. That might not.
Now,
I
would urge you to be a humanitarian that you are. Go grab you one and move in with them.
No.
No. You don't want to do that? You don't want to do that?
You don't have to have.
You don't want to move one into your house?
Why would you? So wait a second. That had nothing to do.
No, these are great people. No, all these people are good.
I'm not saying that they're
not bad people.
I'm not saying they're good people. I'm just saying that I think that aid should be unconditional. Like aid
should be unconditional. If you need help, you need help.
Like if I give somebody money, like a homeless person, like I've done it before. I've given somebody money, and somebody I'm with is like, they're just going to go and spend it on booze. I'm like, well, I buy booze too. That's all I'm saying. Is I don't think that aid should have any moral.
If you're talking about fentanyl, I don't know if it's the fucking media or whatever, but I've seen fentanyl users. I've seen videos of like Philly, downtown Philly looks like a zombie fest down there.
Downtown LA.
It looks like
downtown LA looks like a zombie fest.
Yeah, they're just nodding in the middle of the sidewalk and fucking shitting themselves. But it's like if here, we're going to give you some help, get you an apartment, but please, we don't want to put you through the ringer of having to get off fentanyl at all. So you can just so when we open the door to come check on you, there's going to be 15 people zoning out in the middle of the fucking room, and there's going to be shit all over the walls. You know what I mean? It's like,
well, not necessarily. I think that you have to give people facilities and they won't make a mess. Like, even if they're on drugs, I just think that it's, there's only certain people who are going to be disgusting all the time, and I think that comes from just a gradual slide down.
I don't think. I think you care a lot less about what's going on as long as you get in your drugs, and that could be bugs or dishes or whatever the fuck it is. You don't care.
You could be right. You could be right. I didn't. You make a good point. So
yeah, I think. I mean. I heard somebody say, here's how you cure homeless people. You just give them homes. I'm like, no. I mean, for some people.
Actually,
who are
word-wise, that is the definition.
It is.
You give them a home.
Well, as they say, houseless, the houseless,
unhoused,
the unhoused,
those are the soulless. You have all types: soulless, houseless.
But you have people out there with big mental problems, and they need help with that. You know what I mean? The people with the
that's our biggest problem.
Get going. You get going in life. You can't just give them some shoes and a briefcase and a fucking suit with a fentanyl addiction and go, "Hey, go get a job."
Well, again,
here you go.
So, but back to the fact that I think that billionaires are horrible. If we had less billionaires and spent more on things like healthcare and education and stuff like that, I think you'd see a lot of these things. If we had a more equitable society, I believe you'd see a big drop in this kind of stuff. This stuff, I think is a symptom of inequality. That's what I believe.
I do think that when shit goes bad and then you get into this zone where you're taking drugs now to feel better, to release or whatever, to get out of your head or get out of the space, and it's easy and it's cheap, and then you get caught in it. And where does that come from? Does that come from not having a job? Does that come from being sad? Does it come from not having a few bucks in your pocket? I mean, are you just kind of partying and trying it out once and you got caught? Where does that come from?
I think it comes from deep.
But you say it comes from inequality and all this fucking. You think any of those? You think all those fentanyl users are on the same?
Not all of them.
Those motherfucking billionaires. I wouldn't be high as fuck right now if it wasn't for them.
I think that in general,
if it
was a more equitable society, you wouldn't have those things. Because I think most people's drug abuse and stuff, whether they know it or not, comes from deep-rooted depression and misinformation and a lack of education and a lack of having something else in their life.
I think you have a point there. Absolutely, do think you have a point there. They lack something in their life, and they lack self-respect, and when you're on a fucking a slippery slope and you're going down the slope of self-respect, I mean, gives a fuck if it's one more shot or one more,
That's true.
Well, I'm a firm believer, this is my theory alone, and you guys have heard me say this before. If you practice moderation, you can get away with everything you want to get away with.
Absolutely true.
Do everything you want to do.
100%.
You can smoke a little bit of weed. I mean, but you're smart enough to say to yourself, I'm not going to do a little bit of fentanyl because fucking that sounds like science tells me if I do the maths, I'm fucking not going to live. So
you can't do just a little bit.
Everything
do just a little bit. It's the if
you can moderate and say, fentanyl, I'm going to moderate that and do none. But beer, I'm going to do, 3 today.
I agree. I agree with that 100%.
I'm not going to do any today. I just don't feel it. But learn moderation.
I think that,
and learn kindness.
True. I think it's easier, though, to do those things when you're higher up in Maslow's pyramid.
No, but I don't think you can moderately do fentanyl. Is there a...
No, you can. You absolutely can. Yeah, because your limit is 0. I'm going to moderate and not do any of that.
Yeah, that's okay. Right. That's moderation.
It's not a. It's.
I think it has that effect on most people, though. It's like it's like most people should moderate with 0. I mean, it's like unless it's clinically prescribed in such a small dose that it is actually handleable, and you're not, nodding.
I think you're right.
There's people who get into the cold lake slowly. And there's people that fucking just run off the end of the pier.
It's true.
Right. And then there's Russians that cut holes in the ice, jump in, and then the current takes them away under there.
Fentanyl.
And they're never found again. That's the fentanyl part.
That's the fentanyl people.
You're smart enough to go, you know what? That's stupid.
Hey, there's a river. Does anybody notice there's a river running under this ice and then there's no way out? If I jump in, I'm going to be downstream 25 feet in about a second.
I think I'll jump in.
I'm going to
Maybe that's the adrenaline thrill you need.
It may be.
I know how to moderate that and say, that's not fucking
for
me.
That's true.
I can't stop looking at this dude with the rings on.
Yeah, so we're gonna
stop looking.
I'm gonna move us on to our segment.
Dad hates them. Yeah. Cigarette burns.
We're moving on to
that's the old 70s car cigarette lighter is what that is. That's the do you remember, Gabe, the push button?
Oh yeah.
You were old enough to remember that.
Are you kidding? I had it in all my cars.
Cigarettes.
Roll down your window.
That's what I used to
light
my cigarettes.
Dude, my mom used to smoke in the car. I used those things.
Yeah, I did too.
Chikunk.
All my cars were from the 80s until 2008 or something. No, so this is does this look infected? This is our we're in our segments portion of our podcast. Does this look infected? I have 3 pictures here. I'm going to describe them and we're going to decide whether they're infected or not. One of them is a pile of MAGA hats. So that's the MAGA movement, the Trumpers. One of them, it looks like, is somebody's arm with like some silvery, weird kind of skin thing going on, right? And the other one, the last picture looks like somebody's chest with a bunch of cigarette burns or burns from a cigarette lighter
that looks like ringworm. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
Those are ringworms.
You guys are right now going to decide which ones of these things are infected. One, all, or none of them are infected, or 2 of them may be infected, and
2. Number 1's infected. Number 2 is not infected. Number 3 is infection. That's
okay.
Me.
All right.
Yes.
I'm gonna
go
with T-Bone. Same thing.
You guys are on this one. Okay.
Yes. No. Yes.
Yes. No. Yes. And the answer is
no, yes.
Yes. No. Yes.
Yes, no, yes.
Yes. Absolutely. Trumpism is definitely infected with fascism. That second one is Blau syndrome. It's some kind of skin syndrome.
It looks like an old person's arm. Is that like an old?
Yeah, they had an IV. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, well, that's genetic.
They're just old.
That's a genetic syndrome.
A genetic syndrome.
And you were right, T-Bone.
Ringworm.
That is ringworm.
Ringworm.
I'm gonna put that shit in the book.
Put that in the book. It gets blue. Is it red or lead? It goes lead.
So
T-Bone should have been a doctor.
In the book.
I had ringworm when I was a kid on the side of my head.
How'd you get it?
I don't know.
Were you sleeping on ringworm?
No.
You know how? You play in the sandbox, or you play where cats poop and do their thing, and then you bite your nails, and then fucking...
there it is.
Well, I remember I was very little. I was probably...
I
I think I was 5 or even less, but I can remember, like, the side of my head itched terribly, and my mom took me to the doctor, and I mean, because I guess it was really bad, and I remember having to eat some sort of medication in applesauce for a couple weeks, and I think that must have been antibiotics. So
yes.
Anyway, that's
now
my ringworm.
Is there is the actual worm in there?
No, it's a bacterial thing.
I believe it's
bacteria thing. They call it like
it looks like a worm.
It looks like a worm.
Yeah.
It's from the shape of the actual ring. So fascinating.
All right.
Okay.
There we are.
Next, that was great. Next segment is negative or positive headlines. So this is where we decide whether these headlines are negative or positive. I've selected 3 headlines from major publications. Okay. The first headline is, "This is Spinal Tap and Elton John."
That is a negative.
Let's just say this. It'll be very entertaining because these are 2 people that the Queen loved, we love. But there's some movies you don't remake or go to a number 2 when you make a fucking...
Nah, not that one.
Spinal Tap doesn't need to be remade.
Leave that one alone. You leave that one alone.
Yeah, that's what I think so too.
You did it perfectly. Stop.
Yeah.
Moderate.
Yeah, stop.
Yeah. I urge anybody who hasn't seen Spinal Tap to see it.
This is also, the people the people in the office, the bean counters, the fucking pencil pushers. Like, what we should do? There's a fucking ready audience for fucking Spinal Tap. Let's make another one. We'll make some money. It'll be easy.
Okay.
They did the maths.
Going back, they did the maths.
I think we all agree that one was negative. Okay, so next one. Giant sea mount discovered in Guatemala is nearly twice the height of the world's tallest building.
It's a sea mount.
It's a mountain under the ocean. A sea mount.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I can't see that as a negative. That's got to be a positive, right? Fucking sea mount. How nobody knew about this before? We just look at that shit.
We don't know much about
it.
We don't know much about the ocean. It's largely unexplored. Like they call the space the final frontier, the ocean.
Is it largely unexplored?
Yes.
Is it anymore? Really?
You can't say that.
Yes. Yes,
dude.
You hold on.
To see sun, and you can't say that.
Hold on.
Because you can.
I need the
ocean.
Hold on.
Explore.
The ocean is the largest unexplored place on Earth. It is said that only 5% of the ocean has been explored.
Right. But
what year was that?
It. Dude, you could explore it, right?
But it's unexplored. 80% of the ocean. Here's another from NOAA. NOAA, the organization, says the ocean. The National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration (NOAA) estimates that more than 80% of the ocean remains unexplored. Well, this is a little more.
I thought it was 95%.
Well, okay, this is a different. This is from NOAA.
But
I trust NOAA.
Approximately how much is there, right? And the fact is, if we tried and got everybody on it, we could explore it. You'll never be able to know how deep and how far space goes.
No, I know, but I'm just saying that, like, you call space.
I don't care what political science teach you.
I'm just saying.
You got an A.
Okay, look, 80% of the ocean is unexplored. This is a much larger percentage than the amount of the moon and Mars that has been mapped and studied. There's more of the ocean is unexplored than the moon and Mars.
You know why?
Because no one gives a fuck.
Can't hold your breath that long. You just can't.
In either direction.
You can only see. You go down. You can only see a little bit, and then you got to take a breath.
All right, we'll move on to the next one. Okay, the last headline is Banksy mural worth over 1.2 million lost as building demolished. Now you guys know who Banksy is, right? He's a street artist.
Robbie Banks.
Yeah.
Robbie Banks.
He's made
seriously.
Yeah, he's made tons of money off of his street art and other stuff. And apparently he did a mural on the side of a building that was demolished, and it was worth
good
So
that's his shtick, though, right?
Yeah, it is.
That's his
thing. Something, and somehow it gets destroyed.
Pretty much.
The fucking That's the irony, or
Let's say it's like 1.2 million. Like, who decided that? Okay, that's it's like
so. At
the article's author.
The articles decided.
The guy who wrote the article.
It was worth over 5 cents.
Yeah.
It was worth as much as those bricks. It was worth as much as a paint in a can and an idea in your melon.
Yeah, I don't think that that's negative or positive. I think that was just pretty neutral. Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, we're to everybody's favorite segment.
That's worth a swinging.
That's my favorite segment.
Here's So I'm sorry I couldn't get voice thing yet, but I'm working on it.
That's okay.
For Agatha. So we're gonna
Ersk Agathers.
Yeah. So we have Chat GPT, and we've asked Chat GPT to answer to the name Agatha and be an advice columnist for us. So the last thing we had Chat GPT or Agatha say to us was looking forward to it. Until next time, take care. So what are we going to ask her today?
We really need to prepare better.
No. Ask her. I mean, falling sounds like the fucking world's coming down at someone's house.
Yeah,
Is that my house?
No, I got some sirens going on out.
Oh, fucking Glendale! You got to be careful. Actually, my wife and child just went to Glendale. I told them to stop in on you, so you might get a knock on the door.
Oh, nice.
She has an audition.
Oh.
Violet does. We need to ask Agatha what the chances of Trump being president again.
All right.
Fascism taking over the world.
Okay.
That's that whole question. Put in that whole thing. Yeah.
This will fall right in line with what we've been talking about. And depending on how you type this properly, I'm going to put that in the book that you did a good job. Although I did put in the book that you really did your homework. With you're on top of shit with all this, the slides and stuff.
Oh, thanks.
It is.
I tried to.
Yeah, you did really good job.
Even though I don't like the Constitution, I can still make slides. Okay, Agatha, what are the chances that Trump becomes president again and fascism takes over the world? Oh, wait, let me put a question mark there.
The United States.
Okay, the United States. Okay, the United States. Okay, Agatha, what are the chances that Trump becomes president again and fascism takes over the United States? Predicting political outcomes can be quite tricky, and it depends on various factors, including public opinion, electoral dynamics, and the political landscape. As of my last knowledge update in January 2022, I can't provide real-time information, and future events are uncertain. Keep an eye on reputable news sources for the latest developments and polling data to gauge the political climate. If you have any specific questions or concerns about current events, feel free to ask, and I'll do my best to provide information based on my last update.
Can you do an animation where a hand comes across and slaps Agatha?
We can, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Because that's a slap Agatha.
That was a really lame answer. Okay, maybe we need to ask a better question. Anybody else?
Well, I'll tell you right now what is going on. I just got another update. I get Quake feeds. The Philippines is rumbling like a motherfucker since about 7:30 this morning.
Oh, really?
They're going nuts. Yeah. See if she has a death toll.
She won't. So January 2022 is her last update. So she doesn't know anything.
That's her last update?
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
So she doesn't even know that Olivia Rodrigo came out with a new album?
No.
Ask her if she knows that Olivia Rodrigo came out with a new album.
Did you know that who's Olivia Rodrigo?
You're going to love this girl. I'll show you someday.
All right. Did you know that Olivia Rodrigo came out with a new album? As of my last knowledge update in January 2022, Olivia Rodrigo had released her debut album, Sour.
Dude, you got to get rid of this. Why is this?
Wait, if she has released a new album since then, I wouldn't be aware of it. However, I'm sure her fans are excited to hear more from her. If you have any details about the new album, feel free to share, and I can certainly appreciate the anticipation for new music.
Why are we dealing with a year-old ChatGPT?
Because that's how.
Because you're cheap. Did you cheap out on something?
Second.
Well,
Can we turn around and tell her these things, like more things, and she will learn?
I don't know if
we're also afraid of with this.
I actually don't. So it does learn from your conversations. I don't know if you can add information. When ChatGPT 4, which you have to pay per month for, that one has more is more current, but you have to fork out $20 a month. Also, the 4 can talk. So it can actually talk. Oh. You can send it pictures, but it costs money though. So that's the.
We also need to talk about that because I know you're paying for some of this stuff. We'll get to that business end of this later on after we stop.
Sure.
Maybe we should jump on a FaceTime call. But if we're able to teach this chick things or this other person, then we should start filling her full of information so she remembers some shit.
I don't know if she's gonna remember. What's the new whoever this chick is, Olivia Rodrigo album called?
I don't know. I was just making a slight joke.
Oh, do we even know if there was a new album?
Yeah, no, there is.
Okay.
But she said this thing should know this.
It doesn't, because
that's what I'm saying. It's a little outdated. I was trying to.
Well, again, we can talk about subscribing to the
we can talk
the real one. But anyway. Any other questions you want to ask? You guys are so disappointed that she doesn't know past January 2022. She has the entirety of human knowledge up till January of 2022, and you guys are disappointed.
This is terrible.
I wish I had a book.
Everybody's keeping a book on each other.
Anyway, okay.
All right, I wrote that down.
All right, that's
okay. Good. That's it. Yeah, I guess. You got
Agatha's a bitch.
Too disappointed with Agatha.
We need a slap Agatha animation.
Hold on. Okay. Go back to our presentation to finish this. Okay.
Settle up.
Okay, hold on. We have the math problem from last week.
Oh.
So I wrote it down and I lost who said what.
I got it.
Oh, okay. So, who said what? Because, what is the matrix product? 3/6, 5, 8, WYX. Anyway.
T-Bone said J. I said J. And Gabe said G.
J, J, G. Okay, my wife did the problem. It's J. You guys were right. Wow. Wow, you guys are pretty good at math.
Yeah.
Not bad.
I'd have got a 50%.
Well, you really got a 20% chance of getting it right regardless.
You do, but I mean, you guys did good.
So you got that to start with.
Answer 2x2 matrix. So my wife has the whole solution here. I don't understand how it works.
I'm gonna need a video. That's just
it's complicated. And
very kind of her to do that, but that's
she's very busy this week.
There's no way to get a green screen and have her walk across the edge and with a pointer.
We can. She's just very busy right now because it's the end of her quarter. So
what's more important?
I'm gonna need to understand what's more important here. I think
if I'm ever going to be a house husband, it's more important that she finishes her PhD. So.
Is that your goal?
Yes,
it's his goal. It's always his goal.
It's never going to happen, but it's my goal.
He wants to fucking wake up late. What was your old
Dude,
wishes?
I'm starting to get the feeling that
fat?
You might just want to be a cat.
I am a cat. I'm pretty much a cat in real life.
Stone ghost, just floating through life.
I don't think that's right. I feel like that's a good way to do it.
Is the stone ghost?
I am. That's my
original.
That's originally, yeah. He's the wrecking ball, and I'm the stone ghost. It's basically those are our nicknames. So
because I destroy.
Isn't it weird how times change?
Yeah.
Now Gordon doesn't destroy things, and I don't even think you smoke anymore.
Oh heck no, I couldn't. The last times I've tried to smoke weed, I've been terrified the whole time. I can't do it. It's like I'm like, oh my god, what the hell? Like, oh, the world's so weird. Oh my god, like I can't do it. So
I can't control my thoughts.
I can't. I don't bother doing it.
It's not good.
Oh,
it's not good on me.
Problem for next week is a the problem for next week is a calculus problem. So which of the following limits is equal to 5, 3, x4 dx? It's this.
Oh, this one's tough, dude. Yeah. I don't even know.
in actuality, I used to know how to do this because I did take calculus and I got an A, but I don't remember any of this. So
you got an A in calculus, Steve. I have to write that down.
Yeah, you should put that down. A and
got an A in political science. Apparently, cum laude. But he can't remember
I graduated.
This. Can't remember this.
I graduated magna cum laude.
Summa cum laude.
No, not summa. My wife graduated magna? Summa cum laude. She's a little bit smarter.
It's better than you.
Yes, she's smarter than me for sure.
Yeah, she's smarter.
That's why she's the wife. Okay, well, I guess that was this was good. We did well. We did well today.
All right, let's go through this.
So I'd like everybody to visit our website, nottalkingaboutthat.com. It's not talkingaboutthat.com. That's our website. You'll find all of the episodes, everything in there. You cats do love us. The guys at nottalkingaboutthat.com, that's our email address. Please email us. And we are on TikTok. That is our only social media. At Not Talking About That Pod. You'll find us on TikTok, and a lot of cats follow us because I follow.
So if somebody wanted to write us, they could put that thing in a computer and be able to write an email.
Yes, you ask us every fucking week. I swear to God, it's like you're an Alzheimer patient. Yes.
If I was to go to TikTok, I'd put that in.
So I just go to YouTube, or what do I do?
You got a TikTok.
Has anybody written us?
No. We probably we don't have a lot of listeners yet.
Next time, lie.
What? Make up an email.
Make up and
why don't you guys
fucking tell Agatha to write us something,
dude? You guys have more friends than I do, so just maybe not Gordon.
No,
I literally.
You could just ask a friend.
6 friends.
Ask one of them to write.
I have you guys. That's it.
I was gonna say I have 3 friends, and I'm one of them.
Welcome to the club. And Ibish, who is out in New Mexico.
Yeah,
he's gone.
Well, it was.
He's that's one I've just on a tail of that. I always worried I was going to lose him to fascism.
Yeah.
Oh, your friend
went out to New Mexico.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, he may be. I don't know. I haven't talked to him in
I
a
don't
while.
know.
He may be sliding that way.
His sister. Whoa.
Well,
he has 2 sisters, so no one knows which one. And
yeah,
if anybody would listen, it'd probably be those 2. So because they love us, I love them too.
Yes.
Anyway, it's good talking to you guys.
Well, good talking to you guys, and we'll talk again next week. And I guess
we will figure out what the new topic is going to be for next week.
This one was compelling and interesting, and I think we had a good conversation.
Dude,
I think
it got rough.
Yeah,
even up till last night, I was deep in there.
But yeah, and there's a lot
let's figure it out.
A lot of additions to the book.
Right,
it was good talking to you guys. See you next week.
What do you want for Christmas?
Adios.
Let me know next week.
Yeah.
2 front teeth.